Kazara Tate, and this is TNT Cooking. And if you want to see us make these delicious cinnamon buns, just keep watching.
First, you want to go ahead and get your ingredients. You need salt, sugar, yeast, flour, eggs, water, milk, and butter. Then you want to mix your dry ingredients, which is your salt, your sugar, and your flour together. As always, all the ingredients and their amounts will be in the description box. Then you want to, in a separate bowl, mix together your wet ingredients with your yeast, that is your water, and your warm milk. You want to let that sit for about 10 minutes and then add in your melted butter and a room temperature egg. Then you want to go ahead and add a couple spoonfuls of your dry ingredients into those wet ingredients and then whisk them together. You want to keep continuing to add your dry ingredients into those wet ingredients until all of your dry ingredients are combined and you have a wet dough. After you've done that, you want to lay out some flour and then turn your dough over onto your flour, and then you're going to knead it for about 5 minutes. You want to make sure when you're kneading that you cover your dough and your hands with flour. And you want to knead your dough until it's nice and smooth. After you kneaded your dough and it's no longer sticky and it's in a ball, you want to put it in a greased bowl, cover it, and let it rise for about an hour. It should rise to twice its size. While it's rising in a separate bowl, you want to go ahead and mix your filling, and that is just white sugar, brown sugar, and some cinnamon. And you want to mix it all together until it's well combined. Make sure you're breaking up the clumps of brown sugar. Then you want to lay out some more flour and you're going to roll your dough out until a rectangle shape. You want to make sure that you put flour on your hands, on your counter, and on your rolling pin as always so nothing sticks. As you're rolling out your dough, if you do see that your dough gets a little dry like ours did, you can add some water to your hand and pat it onto the dough to add some more moisture, like you see Taeja doing. And if you still see that it's too wet, you can also just add a little bit of water. You do want to make sure you don't end up adding too much water because then your dough will get too wet. After you roll your dough out into a rectangle shape, you want to rub the entire surface of the dough with some softened butter, as you see Kazara doing. Once it's completely covered, you want to take some spoonfuls of your filling and cover it, covering every part except for about a ½ inch from the edges all the way around. Then you want to go ahead and roll it up nice and tight. Once it's rolled, you want to go ahead and cut off both your ends. Now both those ends will still make a cinnamon roll, they just won't be as uniform in shape as the rest of them. So you can use the dough with the filling as scraps, or you can just go ahead and roll it up as a cinnamon roll like you see we did. Then you want to keep cutting about 1 inch thick slices of the cinnamon rolls, cover it, and let it rise for about an hour. After you cook your cinnamon rolls in the oven for about 25 minutes at 375 degrees, you want to go ahead and make your icing. This is a simple icing with just vanilla, powdered sugar, and milk. And once your icing is done and your cinnamon rolls have cooled, go ahead and pour as much icing as you like on your cinnamon rolls. And voila, you're done.
Yeah.
This is really good. You did that?